Hello student. Today's new topic started. Topic name is plant growth and mineral nutrition. Topic name is plant growth and mineral nutrition. In this topic, two parts involved. First part is plant growth and second part is mineral nutrition. So today we discuss about the plant growth. So student, we learn there are many characteristics or the features of the living organisms. Which are the characteristics of a living organism? There are many characteristics of the living organism. For example, nutrition, for example, reproduction, excretion, death and growth. So there are the various features or characteristics of the living organism. Out of these characteristics, one most important feature of the living organism, this feature is called as a growth. All living organisms show growth. That is, all living organisms grow in their size. So, growth is important feature of all living organisms. What is growth? Growth is permanent and irreversible change that take place in living organism. Growth is permanent, irreversible change that take place in living organism. So, growth increases in size, in shape, in volume and number of the cell. So, what is the definition of a growth? Definition of growth. Growth is permanent, irreversible increase in bulk of organism accompanied by the change of a form. It is known as a growth. What is growth? Growth is permanent, irreversible increase in bulk of organism accompanied by the change of form. It is known as a growth. Or another definition of growth. Growth is a vital process that is, it is permanent and irreversible change that take place in organism or its part with respect to size, number, volume and body mass. It is also known as a growth. So, what is growth? Growth is permanent, irreversible increase in bulk of organism accompanied by the change of a form is known as a growth. Growth takes place in living organism as well as in a non-living organism. Growth takes place in living organism as well as a non-living organism. Here, student, remember these two is the meaning of intrinsic and what is the meaning of extrinsic? Intrinsic means addition of a cellular material inside. Addition of a cellular material from inside. And extrinsic growth that take place in non-living organism, that is addition of material from outside. So in living organism growth is intrinsic and in non-living organism growth is extrinsic. Growth is permanent, irreversible increase in bulk of organism with respect to increase in size, increase in number, increase in volume and increase the body mass. So in non-living organism growth is extrinsic and in living organism growth is intrinsic. So then we learn the aspects of the growth. How many aspects of the growth? There are the two aspects of the growth. First aspect is known as a quantitative and second aspect is known as a qualitative. First aspect is a quantitative and second aspect is known as a qualitative. In quantitative aspect, it involves first point, it is called as a length, that is increase in length. Second point, increase in breadth, that is diameter. Third point, size, then volume, then body mass and number of the cells. When number of cells increases, it also causes the growth. So, how many aspects of growth? There are two aspects of the growth. Which two aspects? First aspect is a quantitative and second aspect is a qualitative. In quantitative aspect, which things involved? First is a length of root or shoot. Second, breadth, then size, then volume, body mass and number of the cell. In qualitative aspects, it involves metabolism, development and differentiation. Last point is the differentiation. Cells differentiation take place to form the tissues. So growth take place by two ways. First is a quantitative and second is a qualitative. In quantitative, growth involves length, breadth, size, volume, body mass and number of cells. And in qualitative, it involves metabolism, development and differentiation. So, student, we also learn in multicellular plant or a vascular plant, growth is indeterminate and plant body is divided into underground root system and aerial shoot system. So, plants consist of determinate growth and indeterminate growth. That is indefinite and definite growth. That is unlimited growth and limited growth. So, in root and stem, the growth is indefinite. Indefinite, that is growth is unlimited. And in leaves, flowers and fruit, growth is a definite or determinate. So here this point is remember, in plant body, in root and stem, growth is indeterminate or indefinite, and in leaves, flower, fruit, growth two aspects. First aspect is a quantitative and second aspect is a qualitative. What is growth? Permanent, irreversible increase in bulk of organism accompanied by the change of form. It is known as a growth. In non-living organism, growth is extrinsic, and in living organism, growth is intrinsic. Then, limited growth and unlimited growth. Unlimited, that is indefinite, that is indeterminate growth take place in root and stem, and determinate, that is definite. This type of the growth take place in leaves, flowers and fruits. So in multicellular plants there is a specialized region which take part in the process of the growth. This specialized region is known as meristematic region, and this meristematic region perform or involve special type of the cell. These special type of the plant cells or tissues are known as a meristematic tissue. So in plant body, growth is indeterminate and it takes place in a meristematic region. This meristematic region involves special type of the plant tissue. These special type of the plant tissues are known as a meristematic tissue. First point, you remember this first point. Meristematic tissue are young and immature, or group of young and immature cells are the meristematic tissue. And meristematic tissue perform one important function, that is meristematic tissue undergo the cell division, that is it increases the number of the cell by the multiplication. So meristematic tissue form new cells. What is the function of meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissue form the new cells. So the dividing power in meristematic tissue, they have the ability of the division, and from the meristematic tissue, number of the new cells are the formed. So here remember this point, meristematic tissue are a living tissue. They are immature tissue capable of formation of the new cells, and they are a living tissue, that is meristematic tissue consists of nucleus. This nucleus is surrounded by cytoplasm. Vacuoles are absent, cell wall is present. This cell wall is made up of the cellulose. So structure of the meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue are isodiametric. They are compactly arranged, that is intercellular spaces are absent. And meristematic tissue are a group of living immature cells. Cell wall is present. This cell wall is made up of the cellulose. At the center, nucleus is present. This nucleus is surrounded by cytoplasm. So these tissues are called as a meristematic tissue, and meristematic tissue undergo division to form a number of new cells. This is the structure of the meristematic tissue. Depending upon the position of the meristem, they are classified into three types depending upon the position of meristem. They are classified into three types. Which three types? First type is a apical meristem. Second type is a intercalary meristem. And third type is a lateral meristem. So meristem consists of how many types depending upon their position? First type is a apical meristem. Second type is a intercalary meristem. And third type is a lateral meristem. First type is known as a apical meristem. Where apical meristem is present. Apical means apex or tip portion. Apical meristem present at apex of root and apex of stem. Where apical meristem present? Apical meristem present at apex of root and apex of the stem. Here, cell division takes place rapidly. New cells form rapidly. And apical meristem, this region is responsible for increase in length of root or a shoot. Apical meristem is responsible for increase in length of root and length of shoot. So first region is known as a apical meristem. Depending upon the position of the meristem, meristem are classified into three types. First type is a apical meristem, second type is a intercalary meristem, and third type is a lateral meristem. Apical meristem is present at the apex of root and apex of shoot. Apical meristem is responsible for increase in length of root and increase in length of shoot. Then second region is known as a intercalary meristem. Where intercalary meristem is present? Intercalary meristem present at basal nodal region or basal internodal region. So intercalary meristem present at nodal region or internodal region. Intercalary meristem. What is the function of intercalary meristem? Intercalary meristem is responsible for elongation of nodes and internodes. What is the function of intercalary meristem? Intercalary meristem is responsible for elongation of the nodal region or internodal region of the root or the stem. Then next third type is a lateral meristem. Lateral meristem present at the lateral side. Lateral meristem is present at the lateral side. Lateral meristem is present in angiosperms and the gymnosperm. Lateral meristem, they are consist of the types of the cambium: vascular cambium and portocambium. Example of the lateral meristems are vascular cambium or a portocambium. And lateral meristem is responsible for increase the girth or diameter of organism. Increase in girth of organism. So depending upon the types, depending upon the position of the meristem, it consists of three types. First type is a apical meristem, second type is a intercalary meristem, and third type is a lateral meristem. Apical meristem is responsible for a primary growth. Intercalary meristem, it is responsible for formation of the leaf primordial and lateral growth. Intercalary meristem is responsible for formation of the leaf primordia or lateral growth. And lateral meristem increases the girth of plant's body or increases the body mass. So meristem consists of apical meristem, second type is a intercalary meristem, and third type is called as a lateral meristem. Apical means present at the apex of a root or shoot. Intercalary meristem present at the nodal region, and lateral meristem present laterally in angiosperma and gymnosperma. Example of the lateral meristem are the vascular cambium and cork cambium. And meristem undergo the cell division and form the member of the new cell. And growth is followed by first point is cell division, then cell elongation, and then cell differentiation. So what is plant growth? It is permanent, irreversible increase in bulk of organism accompanied by change of form. In living organism, growth is intrinsic, and in non-living organism, growth is the extrinsic. How many aspects of the growth? There are the two aspects. First is a quantitative and second aspect is a qualitative. Quantitative means it involves length, breadth, size, volume, body mass and number of the cell. And qualitative involves metabolism, development and differentiation. Growth is indeterminate or determinate. Indeterminate in root and stem, and determinate in leaves, flowers and fruit. In plant specialized region for the growth, this specialized region is called as a meristematic region, and this meristematic region involves a special type of the plant tissue which are called as a meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue are the group of the young immature cell having the ability of formation of the new cells, and depending upon the position of the meristem, they are classified into three types. First type is a apical meristem, second type is a intercalary, and third type is a lateral meristem. Apical meristem increases the length of the root and shoot. It is also responsible for primary growth. Intercalary meristem is responsible for formation of the leaf primordia and lateral buds, and it also increases the length of the nodes and internodes. And lateral meristem increases the girth or volume of the plant's parts. And lateral meristem consists of two types. First is a vascular cambium and second type is a cork cambium. So in this lecture